it's either take him out now or it's something, you know, he's not gonna make it.
Can't let you leave without my blessing. I can't let you leave without my blessing.
Hey boos, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name's Yaneli. So I asked you guys on Snapchat if you wanted me to do a story time on my labor and delivery, a prank or a vlog, and the story time and the prank got the same amount of votes. So I'm gonna go ahead and do the story time now, and I will be uploading the prank very soon. So if you want to go ahead and know what happened on my labor and delivery, then please keep on watching. Alright, so on Sunday, October 28th, after being out all day, my boyfriend and I got ready for bed, and when I was laying down, I noticed that the baby wasn't moving as much as he usually does. So I mentioned it to my boyfriend, and he told me not to worry about it, that I should just call the doctor the next day, which was that Monday, October 29th. So Monday came, we got up early, we went to the dealership, and while he was handling his business with his car at the dealership, I called the doctor and I told him that I had noticed that the previous day the baby wasn't moving as much as he usually did. So they asked me if I had ate, and I told them no, that I was actually on my way to go eat, and they told me to go ahead and eat something, and after I eat something, to eat a candy like a Jolly Rancher, that way the sugar gets the baby moving. So I ate, and with my order I had ordered an orange juice because I had heard that the orange juice can make the baby move around a lot too. So I drank an orange juice, and then I ate my candy, and the doctor had told me to wait 30 minutes to see if the baby reacted to it. So after we ate breakfast, we went to his sister's house, and I waited for about like an hour and a half, and still nothing. I even, you know, moved my stomach around, and the baby was not responding. So his sister told me, like, you guys should go to the ER. And at this time I was dealing with insurance issues because my dad's insurance decided to tell me last minute that they weren't going to cover my pregnancy or anything that had to do with my pregnancy. And my boyfriend and I decided that we really didn't want to have the baby at county because we had heard that you move my camera, big boy. My boyfriend and I didn't want to have the baby county because we just had heard like scary stories that they didn't know how to do this, they didn't know how to do that. But I told him that I didn't want to deal with the labor and delivery bills or anything, pregnancy bills. I didn't want to deal with it. So I told them we should just go to the ER over there and see what they tell us, just to make sure that the baby was okay. So we get to the hospital, and I go straight to the ER. But since I was past my due date, at this time it's October 28th, my due date was October 23rd. Wait, was it October 28th? Stupid ass. No, it was already October 29th. Okay. At this time it was wait, where did I stop? Fuck. Okay. Alright. So I went into the ER, and they told me to go straight into labor and delivery because I was already past my due date. They had given me October 23rd as my due date, and it was already October 29th. But when I called John Muir, they told me that my due date was the 28th, which was weird because I had never heard the 28th ever being my due date. So at this time I'm confused, like, when is my baby supposed to be born? So when I went up to labor and delivery, I asked them, is my due date the 23rd or the 28th? And they told me that they had the 23rd, so I stuck to the 23rd. So they took me in, they monitored the baby, they took me to a room where they just have like curtains, and there's a lot of beds, and they're just monitoring the baby, making sure he's okay. So I stayed there for about an hour and a half. They were checking the baby, and then the nurse came in, and she said that they noticed that the baby's heart rate would drop. So the main doctor came in, and she said that I was gonna stay. They were gonna induce me. So at this point I'm scared because I had heard that when they induce you, the pain is worse than just having like the pain on your own. Like, they're causing you pain, so it's gonna hurt more. So alright, so the nurse takes me down to the room where I was gonna stay at. It's a pretty big room. We stay there, and a few, like, I would say like 30 minutes after, one of the nurses came, and she gave me the pill so we can start inducing me. So she gave me the pill. After I took the pill, I waited for about like 30 minutes. That's when the pain was supposed to kick in. I waited, and I did start feeling like baby cramps, but it was nothing major. She told me that they were gonna do the pain 1 to 10. I was barely starting at 1, so it was nothing crazy. So after they had gave me the pill, I was fine. I was just, like I said, feeling baby cramps. It was nothing crazy. Then at that time it was like 11 or 12. Yeah, I believe it was like 11 or 12. So then like around 4 or 5 o'clock, they gave me another pill to step up the pain. So after they gave me the pill, I was there, you know, family started coming. I did start feeling the pain more because they were leveling up the pain as they gave me more and more pills. And then that same day, like around 7 p.m., they came and they told me that I needed to sign a paper that I was okay with me having a C-section. Well, just in case I needed a C-section, it was okay. And they asked me who was gonna be in charge just in case something bad happened. So I told them my boyfriend, so he had to sign. And it was just an okay, you know, if anything were to happen, he makes a decision whether it's me or the baby. So after that, signed that C-section paper. Every time the nurse would come, they would mention a C-section all the time, because I would try to take a nap and they would come in and flip me over because they said that the baby's heart rate kept dropping and dropping. So I had mentioned to them, like, okay, you guys keep telling me that a C-section this, C-section that, why don't we just do a C-section already since the baby's heart rate keeps dropping? And they were like, no, we have to try and everything before we even go straight to a C-section. So I was like, okay, whatever. So at this point, they had given me another pill, so my pain was already pretty high, but I still didn't want the epidural. The only reason why I didn't want the epidural was because I had heard that the epidural hurts more than the actual contractions, so I didn't want an epidural. I was scared of an epidural. So that night I didn't sleep because the nurses kept coming in to check on me and the baby. At some point I had to put on the oxygen mask because the baby needed oxygen. His heart rate kept dropping, he wasn't getting enough oxygen, so they kept coming in, so I couldn't sleep the whole night. So then Tuesday, October 30th comes. I'm still in pain, no epidural still. Even the doctor came in that morning and she said, why aren't you on the epidural yet? I'm like, it hurts, but I'm okay off it right now. And she was like, all right. She was pretty shook that I still wasn't on medicine. So that day, I was feeling the contractions more and more, and they also had put I'm not sure what it's called, but they put a needle in my arm and it was causing me pain also. It was like a burning sensation. It was bad because I had my contractions going and then the pain on my arm, which I don't know why, but yeah. So they had checked me the day before and I was 3.5 centimeters dilated. So after going into pain, after all that pain, I thought that I had opened more, and they checked me again and it was still 3.5 centimeters. So I was so frustrated. I was going through all that pain and I still wasn't opening. So on Tuesday, when I was feeling the pains, I had told my mom not to let as much family come in because I was in pain and I didn't want nobody asking me all these questions. I just want to be left alone. And guess what? Hella family came in. I was in pain, so I didn't even want to look their way. I was staring, like, not at them. I was just in my own world. And then my cousin's girlfriend decides to freaking tell me her crazy ass C-section story, talking about I wasn't opening, so they had to do me a C-section, an emergency C-section. When it was time to cut me, I felt the cuts. I was screaming. They had to put me to sleep. So I'm like, bitch, really? I'm in labor, I'm not opening, they mentioned a C-section, and she's telling me all these crazy shit. I was like, so I'm gonna just get her the fuck out. So I did a face to my mom like, hey, it's time for them to go. And she told them that it was time for them to go. No, she told them, no, at that time the doctor came in and she said, I need everybody out because I'm gonna check her to see if she's dilated. And the doctor came and they all left. So they checked me and I had only opened a 4 centimeters. So at that point I was just like, whoa. Like, I just started crying because I was in so much pain and I still wasn't dilating more. I was just staying at 3.5. Eventually I went to 4, but so she gave me the option of doing, it's like, I guess they put like a balloon type in you and they inflate it to help you open. But I was like, no, what if it pops or something? I was like, no, I'm okay. I'll, you know, whatever you guys are doing, that medication. So the family left and the doctor came in, gave me another pill to make the pain even more stronger. And that's when I couldn't handle it anymore. I started crying because I thought it was gonna be pain I can tolerate, because they used to say that it's like cramped. No, it was pain that it just hurt so bad. And I finally asked the doctor if I can get medicine. I still didn't want the epidural yet, but I was like, do you guys have any medicine I can take? And she did. She brought me a medicine that they put through the IV, and it got me pretty high where I wouldn't feel the pain, but it would go away so quick that I asked for more. But the more they give you, the less stronger the medicine is. So I kept asking for more, but the pain would just come back right away. And so that whole night I was just like crying until finally around, like, I'd say 10 or 11, my mom was like, just take the epidural, like, it's gonna get so much better. And at that, I had been in labor I'd gone for a few hours now. Oh, and before that, my water had broke on its own, so I was still in epidural, and I thought that after the water breaks, you know, it helps it speed up, but still nothing. So my water had broke. They were inducing me, so they were making my pain stronger and stronger. And I still didn't have the epidural, so I was in so much pain where I was like, you know what, I'm gonna just get the epidural. F this, if it hurts, oh well, it's just gonna be one little sting and then it's gonna get better. So the nurse came in and I said, can I get the epidural please, because it hurts really bad. So she called the doctor that does the epidural. He told everybody to get out. My boyfriend was the only one that was allowed to stay in there with me, and so they put the epidural. When they put it, I was like, wow, that's it. People were exaggerating when they would tell me that the epidural hurt. I could have got the epidural this whole time. It didn't even, it was like the smallest pinch ever, and the doctor was really good. The way he explained it to me and how he did it, he made it didn't hurt at all. So once they gave me the epidural, once I started feeling numb, it was just like, wow, I freaking went through all this pain for nothing. Like, I didn't feel anything, and the doctor had came in. She gave me another dose, and it was just, I could see the contractions on the monitor, but I couldn't feel anything. I was just numb. I was completely numb, and I was like, wow, I was so relaxed. So before that nurse that was because each time a nurse would switch, I would get a new nurse every shift. So before that nurse left, she told me, she said, there's one specific doctor that if you see her, that means something's wrong. So just a heads up. And at that point, I'm like, they know something, they're not telling me. So then whatever, she leaves. I get the new nurse. There was two new nurses. They come in, and you know, so they had told me what was going on, this and that, and they just kept seeing that the baby's heart rate kept dropping and dropping. So they were like, yeah, have they mentioned a C-section to you? I'm like, yeah, they have. And I even told them that if they see something's wrong with the baby, just do a C-section, you know, whatever, let's get it over with. And they were like, no, we were just asking. I'm like, okay. So now it's Wednesday, Halloween comes along. It's around like, I try to sleep that whole night, but they kept waking me up like literally every 5 minutes, like, oh, can you move to your left, the baby's heart rate, can you move to the right, the baby's heart rate, this and that. I'm like, can you guys just do a C-section, like, come on, yeah. And so on Halloween, October 31st, they come in like around 4 something in the morning, and I open my eyes and I see that doctor that the nurse had told me that if I see that doctor, it's because something's wrong. And I guess that the baby's heart rate had dropped to like the danger zone, where it's like it's either take him out now or it's something, you know, he's not gonna make it. So they come in and the doctor was like, we're gonna have to do you a C-section, like, we have to go, his heart rate's not coming up, we have to go. My boyfriend's sleeping, so I wake him up like, hey, I'm getting a C-section. He's all confused. I'm confused because I woke up from a nap. So as we're going into the room, tell me why these nurses are freaking taking me in every corner. They're hitting me so hard. I'm scared. They're hitting me in every corner. So we go into the operation room. There's a whole bunch of doctors, a whole bunch of nurses, and I just see them running around. My boyfriend had to change. He couldn't go in just yet. He had to put on the suit, and they had to get me ready before he can go in. And they asked me if I can feel anything. I said no, I was already on epidural. So the same doctor that gave me the epidural, he came in, he added more medicine, and after that I was like numb, like really numb, like nothing. I couldn't, you could drop a freaking rock, big old rock on me, and I couldn't feel it. So he came in, and he was there with me, and before they started, one of the doctors yelled out checking. So they started like pinching me, I guess, and they're like, can you feel anything? I was like, no. So I'm like shaking because one, I didn't want a C-section, but I had to do what I had to do. So at this point I'm like shaking because I'm scared, and I already know they're gonna cut me. So before they start, one of the doctors yelled starting, and from then on I didn't feel anything. I would just feel a lot of pressure. And then about like 5:20 something, 5:28, yeah, it was 5:28 in the morning on Halloween was when my baby was born. I asked the doctor, was he out yet? And they were like, yes, because I couldn't feel anything. So then they called my boyfriend over so he can go ahead and cut the umbilical cord. I wasn't able to be with my baby until like 10 a.m. because after all that, you know, they closed the C-section area, and I had to go into recovery. So I had to wait until my numbness went away and I was able to feel my legs again. And I went into the recovery. I was done, I was all good, and then that's when I finally was able to meet my baby boy. But honestly, the labor was crazy because I thought I was gonna have a normal vaginal birth, but it ended up I had to have a C-section. And I know that with a C-section you can only have like 3 kids, and yeah, that's the scary part. And it just scares me to know that like if I want to have another kid, they have to recut that scar. So it's like, but I do want kids in the future, just not anytime soon. So that was my labor and delivery story. The recovery was pretty good. I mean, the only thing that sucked about that hospital was in the postpartum room, you had to share with somebody. So say your baby was falling asleep and the person next to you, their baby started crying, then your baby would wake up. It was terrible, and it sucks for the dads there because they're literally sleeping in a chair. So shout out my baby's father, because he was there every night. You know, he was very supportive through it all. So thank you, baby. And yeah, if you guys like this video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Thank you guys. Bye.